Hello and welcome to another episode of Faith Emo Racing. So today we have a special kind of matchup. It is the two Renault Sport Clios round Spa. So what we're going to do is take the two Clios 3 years apart, round the Spa track, 3 laps, and let's see what we get. So today we've got a special guest of Jake Mclovin, who's over there. He's in the 2013 Renault Sport Clio. Myself here, I'm in the 2010 Renault Sport Clio. Come down to the La Source hairpin, a little bit of cheeky handbrake there, just to see what the balance of the car is like, and away we go. So, as we can see, I've gone for a black decal on the roof. Jake's is completely standard. Both cars are completely standard performance-wise. So, what we're going to do today is a 2-lap race. Jake's going to see if we can keep up or beat me. And then the second lap, I'm going to see if I can get my head down and get a fast lap time. Down onto the Kenmore straight, you can see Jake's just about staying with us. The Clio behind us is a turbocharged one. So although these two cars have the same amount of power, Jake does have more torque. So I'm covering the inside just in case Jake wants to go for a dive. And braking down into the 3rd gear chicane here. That's one thing about this car that is absolutely fantastic, is the brakes. The suspension is quite stiff, so when you get on the brakes there isn't too much dive or body roll, and it just does what it says on the tin. It brakes it well, and it doesn't unsettle the car. Down into here, we're now starting to see the one disadvantage of this car is the torque. I have to go down into 2nd gear around this corner. It'd be nice to stay in 3rd, but it just does not have the torque to come out of the corner. Dab the brakes and the car will go straight in. That little dab of the brakes will put weight transfer all the weight over the front wheels and give us the extra grip to do the next turn with. Again, a little dab of the brakes, and here you can actually just get on and off the power. The car will just start to oversteer a little bit, pointing you back towards the corner, which is how a lot of the drivers of these, which drive in the Cup Championships, get a superior turning. Just a little bit backing off, let the rear end rotate, and it helps when the front end in. Fast chicane here, just a couple little dabs of brake. As you can see, another disadvantage of this car, it has no locking mechanical differential. Every car pretty much on the road does have a differential, but this one's is open, so excess power will be wasted by spinning the unloaded inside tyre. So it's something that you can upgrade on this car in real life. Cost of around about up to about £900 to £1,000. So as some of you may know, this is actually the same car that I drive in real life, same colour. It's comparatively, compared to the real life car, Forza have got it pretty much spot on. The colour, as you can see, is liquid yellow, which is like a bright yellow in direct sunlight, but as you can see in shade, it will go various different shades, even down to a kind of orange colour. Down into the last chicane, you can see I've blown that completely, very wide, but get on the power, again lighten up that inside tyre. So what we're going to do now, looks like we've managed to see off Jake, so we're going to go for a fast lap time. So get our heads down and see what kind of lap time we can do on the 2nd lap. Braking down into the source, a slight lock up, but apex just beautifully there. And then back up the power and down to Eau Rouge. So we're going to switch to the in-car view. This is what I tend to use for most of my races, unless I'm racing online. So we'll see how fast lap time we can get down here. So dab of the brakes into Eau Rouge, down 1 gear, back on the power, over the top. And away we go now. It's a perfect turn for Eau Rouge. So already making up time, but then that was against a standard start. Interior wise, you can see this is actually what will be classed as a cut model of the Clio 200. It's got a couple of options. If you look over to the right, there's a yellow dash strip, and that's part of the yellow pack, and so that's an optional extra, where you've got the yellow dash strips, you've got yellow patches on the front and rear seats, and you've got yellow seat belts. So this evidently has a option ticked, but other than that, it's the base Cup version. Other ways you can tell that is to the left, you can see manually adjusted wing mirrors, and the centre console is matte with 3 knobs, so that means there's no air conditioning or climate control, so it is the Cup version, which is slightly lighter as well. Another way you can tell this is a cup version is the headlights are completely clear or silver, whereas the full fat version will have black inserts in those headlights. Going through the more technical centre section again here, you can see how this car has a lovely balance. You can get on the power and it will start pulling itself in, or just ease off the throttle a bit and the rear end starts coming round, giving you that extra attitude to pointing towards the corner. My favourite part of this car though has to be the brakes. Fantastic brakes. You get on them, the suspension with the brakes is quite stiff, so as you brake hard you get a little bit of weight transfer, enough but not too much, which is always an issue with some cars, is when you get too much weight transfer it becomes quite unstable. Quite a difficult corner here because you want to get on the power as early as possible and you want to limit the amount of turning that you've got, especially in a front wheel drive car, but you've got to stay within the confines of the circuit. So we're now on the return leg back towards start finish. One thing where this car doesn't perform as well as it looks, I would say, is performance over 100 miles an hour. Just like the real car, once you're over 100 miles an hour you've really stopped doing proper meaningful acceleration. Hard on the brakes here this time we're a lot better onto the apex. Across the curbs, let's get the power down as smoothly as possible and up through the gears. Let's see what kind of lap time we can get. It looks like we've managed to beat Jake. He's coming out the final corner now, across the line, and we managed at 3 minutes 3 seconds 0.058. So what we'll do, we'll go over to the turbo, we'll switch cars with Jake and we'll see how fast that one is and what it's like to drive. Here we are in the Clio Turbo, starting from the start. So this one, previous car was a 2 litre naturally aspirated car. Now we're down to a 1.6 litre turbocharged car. We've got the same theoretical output, but we have more torque but more weight in this one. Again, a little bit of cheeky handbrake at the source hairpin. Jake's managed to jump in front of us here, so we're going to have to find a way past him. So going down to Eau Rouge. Ooh, dab of the brakes. Didn't expect Jake to shed so much speed there, but we're still behind him. Now I'm hoping for superior torque and the slipstream to help pull me along here. Hopefully we can get past Jake down here. So as you can hear, this one's got a lot lower red line. Before in the 200 front we were changing up about 8,000 RPM. Here we're changing up about 6,250. So part of the downstairs. There's the biggest issue with this car, I find, is getting on the brakes just like it did there, hard braking. There's a lot of weight transfer over the front axle. Makes the rear end quite unstable, so unless you're pointing exactly straight it can be a little bit tricky. Got a better exit there than Jake, so we're down the inside. Let's brake, and we braked a lot later. But we're washing a little bit wide there, a little bit of handbrake towards background, and we managed to stay alongside him. So we've got the inside for this corner, double brake, take a lot of curb just in case. I don't want to run Jake off the road and miss through. So now we're up into first place. You can see how this car's going to perform. Braking, had to use a little bit more brake than the other one, the other Clio down to this corner, but it does seem like it's more stable on a long fast corner, whereas the other one, if you got ass the throttle you had a bit of that lift off oversteer. This doesn't seem to have as much of that. It's not as playful, it feels a lot more solid through this fast chicane. Again here you can see another trait of this car is there isn't that spinning on the inside wheels that we've got a lot of in the other Clio. It seems to be a lot more, have a lot more traction. Onto this return stage back to the finish line, where we have to just wind up the speed. One thing that I would make a remark to for the 4 to 6 guys is sound. Sound, they've done a fantastic job. I drive the 200 that's behind us at the moment, day to day, and it sounds pretty much spot on. Now I've driven one of these as well, and again, very spot on. That's one thing that you do miss out on this car is the characterful sound. There isn't as much character. You do get that turbocharged sound as you come off the throttle and change gear, but there isn't that character. into the final chicane, missed the first apex a little bit, but hit the second. So onto the power. And what we're going to do now is get our head down and see if we can beat that 3 minute 3.0 that the other 200 did. Go to interior view. This is one that I prefer to do my fast laps times on. And down into the source, apex well, and onto the power. Have a look around the interior. Again, this is pretty much spot on. There's the touchscreen in the centre, and overall it's a nicer place to sit in this car over the old car. The old car was more of function over form, so there's a lot of plastics. They spent the money on the stuff like the seats, the steering wheel, the gear knob. The rest of it was really basic affair. Down the Kemmel straight, one thing that you can see in this car is a gear indicator right in the centre, and that you can see on the 200 when we were driving that as well. And that was one thing that is incorrect, unfortunately. So in real life, in the other 200, the normally aspirated 200, there was no gear select in real life, whereas it was showing up what gear was in the game. Again, you can see on heavy braking, this car has a lot of dive. Front end dives quite a lot. Keeping an eye on Jake, it seems like he's keeping up a little bit better on this one. Again, you can see here, I'm able to keep it in third gear, although I've got quite a bit of understeer there, I can't keep it in third gear at all. That's the biggest issue there, just on that corner there with this car. Dab a brake, front end starts turning in, and then it also starts washing out wide. For me, I think it's because of the weight transfer. There's a lot more weight transfer on this car. It kind of feels like it overloads the front tyres a bit more. Yeah, a lot of weight transfer, and then you start washing wide. And I think it could be improved by just improving the suspension setup, maybe making it a little bit more stiffer on the front, so there's a bit less weight transfer. Coming out of the technical section here, another advantage of this car is it only comes as a double clutch, so we should have the advantage on changing gear there. Finally, on to the last final corner out of the technical section, and then we're going to race on down back to the start finish line. Looks like Jake's kept up a little bit better on this one. Top speeds wise, we're actually ending up pretty much around about the same on both of these cars, getting to top speeds around about 180. Through Poo on here, quite a fast corner there, and then we're finally going down to the last chicane. Let's try and make sure we get better braking. Getting there, quite a bit of dive, the rear end wants to step out. Missed the first apex, but let's see if we can get back for the second one. We can. Onto the power. Another thing that I miss on this car is the big yellow rev counter. It's nice to have that, it's kind of sunken on the left. The lap time, we're looking at a 3 minutes 3 seconds, 0.613, so 6/10 of a second, so showing that these cars are very even. But thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and there will be more like this coming soon.